they're going to look at banning gyroscope. Yeah, that is instantly banned as we hop into the pick and ban here. Instantly taken away, and arrow pipes was taken away by G1. The first pick here goes to G1, and I think they might be looking at back and forth. That's interesting, because that's a map that Sinners have picked. Reps may be the answer here for Kappa. Slowdown, okay. Slowdown and reps, I think, are the maps they're going to go for. Parkour is tough, because we saw Binks dominate there. Reps coming through, okay. They're going for drivability. They might have freestyle as their last Sinners, and I don't know here what G1 favors. Flip of Faith, they're pretty good at. They're going for Slippy. And perhaps free... Oh, Agility Dash. Okay. An interesting 6th map, and the 7th being Flip of Faith. So they're leaving freestyle out. They might have thought, you know, okay, we saw Binks and Gwen on that last week. Let's just not pick into that, because that's scary, and we don't like scary things. So, back and forth is the first map. We saw Gwen and Binks drive this. We saw Gwen with ridiculous, inhuman pace, and he crashed around. The world record on that map is by Binks, his teammate. It's a 57.8. Gwen was on pace for like a 57.3, and then he crashed out in a round where they could just safe and take an ace. And he was like, yo, bro, I'm gonna send it. So, they're a scary team to face on this map, and I think Gwen wants redemption for his crashed world record. I am predicting we're going to see a new world record this game. This map. Alright, 57.808 is the time to beat. It's a map where you drive a little bit of backwards, a little bit of forwards. The entire ending is driven backwards, as that is the fastest way to do it. But the start, you also have some 360s and whatnot, so it's gonna be exciting. Tell your friends this is happening. We have 2 more games coming after this. We have Alliance versus Solary. Banger matchup. And then also BDS versus... No, sorry. Alliance versus BDS. And KC versus Solary. Those are the games, which are gonna be great. But we're starting with this one. Will Sinners be able to drive consistently enough and take advantage of Binks and Gwen's mistakes? Or will Binks and Gwen just try to run away with this? We again have similar looking car skins. These orgs have very similar liveries, so you're gonna have to pay attention to the nameplates to tell who's who. But look at this already in the start here. Gwen and Binks starting with pretty strong pace, 0.4 ahead, as Kappa and Tween have made some mistakes in that early turnaround. And now the bug slide's also gonna extend that lead, at least to Tween. Kappa keeping up pretty close. But this reflects the median pace of these players. Gwen and Binks consistently around that 58.1, 58.0 mark. And Kappa and Tween about 58.5 being the pace. Let's see in the ending here. They turn around on this red booster, start driving backwards. Kappa has a chance at second, though I think Binks is a little bit too far, and Binks is driving fast. We could already have the prediction come true. We'll see what the final time ends up being, but G1 are going to start us off with an ace, 58 point... Oh! No, they're not.
Victory.
Apologies, as Gwen hits the finish line. He crashed the finish, and he just gets a no problem go in the chat from his teammate. Though I think he knows he should probably not have crashed that, but all is well. They know they have good pace here, and they're gonna try to keep that pressure up once again in the start. Even faster this time from Gwen, about a 10th ahead of his previous opening split. And that is enough to force a mistake out of Tween to try to keep up. Again, Kappa is there, but this ice turnaround has claimed many runs. Almost gets Binks there. Barely gets through for Gwen as he slides out on the wide line. You can see they're just struggling to keep the momentum going here. Now into the backwards part. It's again an ace possible for G1 on their own choice. And the problem is that they have such good pace on so many maps. If you can only ban one of them, you're gonna be playing against them on some of their strongest ones. And this time it is an ace where Gwen gets a much better finish. 58.2. Still not the incredible pace we know they're capable of, but still very, very strong and enough to win the rounds. Kappa's best pace on this is actually a 58.2 up until now. So he's going to need to beat his league record, as it looks like Tween, really struggling on this, also has a 58.2 as his best in a match. His actual personal best might be way stronger, but it really is the start here. What G1 are doing so well is these gear combinations. Gwen, once again, a little bit too wide. And here Kappa will overtake, but Binks, this is a monster. This is a monster time. Well and truly clear up in the 57 range. Is he gonna beat his own record though? That is the question. 50.6 on this split. This is looking very fast. I think Binks might just have done it here. Ooh, 300th shy of his own record. Still very fast. And an ace as Gwen overtakes Kappa in the backwards part. 8-1 on back and forth. And I don't want to say it as if it's a given that they're gonna win this map. Kappa and Tween have a fighting chance, but really already in the start here, Gwen and Binks getting early 5th gear on the grass, setting up a little bit better for the first bug slides. They are just doing this clinically. Really precise. They had one mistake in round 1, else they'd be at 9-0 right now. And again, they're looking for another ace. On this map, they are the clearly stronger team. And Tween is going to try his best, but I believe they're going to close this out in 4 rounds. And the question is, are we going to see a world record? Gwen about 1200ths behind Binks' previous split here, but he's ahead now. And so, if he gets a really good ending here, Gwen, this could beat Binks' record. I think that's what he's aiming for, but he is losing time to that split, and it's just going to be a 57. Nothing more, nothing less, just a 57. But an ace, and G1 take map 1 quite dominantly here, 11-1. It is looking like it's just so impossible to face G1 on their first pick. No matter which map it is, it's the map that they've prepped the most on that week, and they will dominate it with pace that few players can keep up with. There really was just that one crash. Let's see what happened to Gwen. So I think he just crashed the finish on the... Oh! Hit the triangle pull, as we call it. And then Binks. If you gave him a few more rounds here, he could definitely dish out a 57-6, 57-7. They just won too fast, I think, to beat their own record. As crazy as that is. Slow down, the next choice. This is picked by Sinners. And this is where they're going to stand their ground. They might have expected to lose back and forth, but this is the one they're looking to win. They played us against Solary, and I believe they did quite well here. Even though they lost that match as a whole. It's one of the maps they've played the most. Kappa and Tween's best is 56.7. Their average, 57.1. 57.3. Yes, Gwen and Binks, they are slightly faster on peak pace, but average about the same. Gonna try to see 57s every round here. Gwen definitely on pace for that with the start here. Tween with another mistake. Kappa keeping up though. Definitely more fighting chances here. The ending is only Tech, and we are witnessing the 2018 Tech World Champion. In the drifting style, no players are as experienced as Kappa in this game. Looking for it, but he's not going to get past Gwen, who starts us off 56.6. Keeping momentum going, getting a win for G1. And if Tween was in the mix there, I think they could at least get a draw. But that is a tough time to beat for first. Let's see what they're capable of in the next round here. This time it's Kappa with a small mistake in the start. 2/10 being lost to the blue team. Then the bobsleigh setup here, going wide as always, but oh, even a small drift approach there from Kappa. Getting a bit more angle. They're still gonna bleed more time here though, and the pace is just so tough to keep up with. This is incredible from G1. They're both on 56.5 pace right now. Tween is driving a strong round. It's a high 56, but just look at the pace up front. What are the final times going to be here in this round for G1? Gwen and Binks, I think the fastest team round we've seen on this map. Massa and Grenadi had a 0.5 duo. What's this? 0.5 from Gwen and 0.7 from Binks, who missed the last part a little bit. But they were right up there with Massa and Grenadi's level. And an ace again. Not looking great for Sinners right now. They need to see some mistakes that they can capitalize on. What do you do when a team is neither fast or consistent, but just both? Just like consistently fast. Like what do you do? Just drive faster? It looks like that's what you have to do, but if they just crash and give you the round, then the plan will work. Sinners, you have to ace this round. There is no other way, I believe, that you win this map if you don't get this ace. Tween has about a 6/10 lead, I would say, against Binks and Gwen. Oh, it's gonna be more, 0.7. And they're gonna Hail Mary it. They're gonna just full send it. But I think this is an identity easier than most to safe, to just hold on to your position. And he's gonna lose a little bit of time, but as you can tell, very safe line here, no problem. An ace for Sinners. Falls into their lap, and they take it. But that has not happened often yet. Only one mistake from Gwen on the previous map, and this is the first time we see either G1 player crash on this one, but both crashing in a round is a gift for Sinners. Cannot expect that that will happen more frequently. Big mistake from Tween now. Wide setup into the dirt. Looks like it plays into G1. They're going to be slightly faster than Kappa all the way across. The uphill slide. Binks adjusting a few times. Gwen going wide. Tween might pass him here. He will. Kappa now in the battle for first. If Kappa gets this, Twinners. Sinners are right back into a tied game, but that required a good identity for Kappa, and now it could get grim if Gwen gets this ace, which he looks to do. This is going to be Gamers first on 8-4. Not the start of this map Sinners were looking for. Have to wonder what's coming up later. If this is the first pick, if this is the first front line, you know, where they're gonna try to fight a Gwen, though. They do have some mistakes they need to clean up to play it perfectly. But also probably expecting this map to come through in this set. Very close battle for first once again. Binks and Tween just 100th, just 100th. We take it for granted, but it's literally a 100th battle up for first place. Kappa, good speed through the checkpoint, setting up early, no airtime, gonna avoid it, get it better than Binks there, early inside the line there, and the last drift is good as well for Kappa, who's gonna deliver here, 56-50. This is why they picked the map. This is why they picked the map, but they have a problem. They're almost out of time. 9-6 right now. They need to ace. Definitely good pace for Kappa, but just any small mistake now and the map goes to G1. Can they do it? Beautiful run there from Kappa, though. Starting out strong, but where is Tween? Oh, very inside line from Kappa there. Clipping the wheel basically inside of the scenery block. He will stay up in first. Tween going low, trying to get a bit more into that bobsleigh. Maybe getting ever so slightly closer. As they're driving even faster this round than the previous. They are on world record pace right now. Before the ending, before the identity. Still doing his part. Between right there, 2 tons behind. Not a bad run by any means, but he needs to go faster to get past both G1 players. Gwen in first before the ending. He jumps out, leaving an opportunity, but Binks will crush any hopes of Sinners taking this with a clean 56-62.
Draw.
10-7. G1 are up 2-0.
G1 wins the track.
That was a great match. We did have 56.5 in the previous match from Musa as well, which breaks the live world record we have on the display there. But Glenn also showing he could do it one game after. And not only that, Kappa as well, able to break the live world record here this round. Just great ending. Had a good lead. Could afford to even drive it a little bit safe, it looks like. But he takes it. So we do have a synchronization issue. Sometimes this happens. One moment. So we get ourselves back on the server. Really interesting start to this match. Hope to see Sinners somehow fight back, but they have arguably the toughest map ahead of them. Getting a win against G1 here is harder than beating Into the Breach on this. So we know the pace from Binks and Gwen is just unmatched. Last week they did 102.2. The live world record. And a quick look at the stats will tell us what Sinners' pace is. But first, let's take stock of this first round. It is Gwen and Binks in first and second before the bobsleigh and the ending, where I would say they have the upper hand, and the mistake from Tween and Kappa is not going to make matters any better. Let's see what they can actually get out of this, though. Gwen and Binks onto the plank jumps now. Got to line up for all these transitions. It's not a given. Binks even going for the wobble. Getting that. Gwen has made a mistake. Can he be caught up to? Can Kappa get past? Not quite, and it's still going to be an ace. The mistakes cost the Sinners too much time, but 107, 102.74 is a beatable time. I believe they can get there. 10, when they do 0.2 though, that's when it gets really, really tough. The one hope for them here is that Binks' median pace is a 104. Not very consistent here. Whereas Gwen has a 103 median. That's very respectable on this map. It's actually the first time we see Kappa and Tween on it. We do not have any stats on how they do on this map. Across the first quarter pipe, there is also that flip strategy that they could elect to go for. Kappa, very unfortunate, onto the bobsleigh wall, crashing the checkpoint. Tween up to fight for first. On 102 pace, but missing the speed in that first landing. Binks extending ahead. Will Tween dare to try anything here, or is he just going to go for the normal? He can go for the normal as Binks makes a mistake. Gwen also going for a normal jump. And where is Kappa? Quite far. Tween gets first, Gwen second, and Binks will take third. There might be some hope here. People who think it's over, I don't think you should call it too soon. Matches like these are very much so played in momentum. G1, they have the favorite badge. But if that starts to slip away in your brain, if you start to lose a couple of rounds, and then a couple of maps, and then you start to think, wait, weren't we supposed to dominate this? What's going on? If you get to that point, you can make even the strongest opponent stumble. But Kappa and Tween really need to turn the tide here. Really need to put on the pressure, because right now, Binks and Gwen are just driving full comfort. They have not been forced out of their comfort zone at all. Just driving normal lines and consistently winning the round. So Tween here, gonna look to do that. Has a strong lead in this round. But identity remains. Kappa hitting the wall. Hard to build much off of that. Oh, and Binks with a mistake. Will leave them some opportunity, but Gwen right now chasing for first. Is he gonna try anything fancy? Not going for the flip. It looks so enticing, but Tween takes that round. And who gets third here? Is it Kappa? Kappa is ahead. but he misses. Binks is right there. Pretty close fight, actually. Binks with slightly more speed. Kappa only needs a clean landing, but is not gonna get it. And Binks takes the 3rd place. It's a draw. Heartbreak when you're 17.8 seconds behind instead of 0.9, and that literally deciding a point. That's just like adding salt in the wound, you know? Unfortunate, he hit the cone. Really, really tough position to be in. But they are also the 2 most experienced players here. If anyone could do it, it would be Kappa and Tween. They've been competing in Trackmania since 2012. Both been in several World Championship finals. Kappa won in 2018. Tween has 4 second places and 1 third in a World Cup final without winning it himself. It would be the greatest Cinderella story of all time. These 2 friends could go in this World Cup and do it together. The world's first duo World Cup, but the season has not started out well for them. Down 4-0, 1 player missing the identity here, and it looks like they're getting aced again, and it might be playing towards a 102.1 from Gwen without the flip. So that is a live world record on the servers. Scrappy has a 102.11 offline, but that uses the flip, and the flip gains you 0.3 of a second. So Gwen effectively just crushed the world record into pieces. That's an astonishing time. 8-2 now. And like the tornado that swept up a couple of records last time, they're doing it again here. And it's hard to say what actually causes them to be so much faster than other teams, but one thing is for certain, they are definitely willing to take risks. Gwen just face-planting the wall there with full force and conviction shows that he was ready to go all in for the last pixels on that wall. Now Binks with another fast run. Gonna try to beat his teammate's record, it looks like. Far in front. Might need the flip to do so. No shot, Binks, you're in first. Okay, he's not gonna do the flip. He's just gonna go standard, and it's gonna be a good time. 102.2. If he flipped, he would have beat Gwen, but I think the restraint in his brain, he didn't let the intrusive, chaotic thoughts win. He just thought, you know what? I can go for world records offline. I'm on a server right now. I'm playing a match. Let me just save it. All right, solid 102.2. Go next. It's crazy. It's actually crazy how fast they are. Very exciting. Both young players just all-inning every round. And the question really is, like, they lost their first game, right, to BDS. They also lost to Alliance, I believe. But after that, it's been really clean. In playoffs, in World Cup, in the All-Stars tournament later in the year, very exciting to see if G1 on a rematch could beat these teams they lost to. Because right now, they are playing with their food, quite literally here. It is looking so good for G1. Just needs 1 point here to take map number 3 against Sinners. And Gwen gonna go for an honorary flip. He was half a second behind. And he's gonna stay 0.7 behind, actually, with an unfortunate landing. But yeah, as you can tell, they didn't really have to sweat on this one. No sweat on Parkour.
G1 wins the track.
Let's take a look at some of the replays. Again, they're just starting these maps so strong. Immediately, they punish Sinners for making a mistake on the bobsleigh. Both players going a little bit too high in the entry here, and that gives them an ace to start. Afterwards, they were able to build off of that, and just this very unfortunate spot. Kappa, slow landing. Binks getting past. As if the match wasn't going poorly enough. Just small things like that can tilt you out of the stratosphere. An ace, putting it at 8-2. with the 102.1 was enough to get there. Now we have a reps. Map 4, again picked by Sinners. This is a map they did well on. They have beaten very strong teams on this map. It's their second choice. But we also know that Binks tied Mudda's world record here last week. Binks drove a 106.438, dead tie with Mudda. It's a new week. He's done his homework. He might be looking for a new record. Like, are they actually playing against the team, or are they just going for records in this league? I can't tell. I can't tell if it's just two friends logging on, hunting world records against each other, or if they're going for the wins. It's a fun team to watch regardless. As right now, though, they're not looking so dominant. You can't even tell whose cars is whose. Tween and Kappa are right up there in the mix, looking to take a map away from G1. Pretty the score line so far a little bit, but they need a good identity. The first plank jump, Binks falling out there. Tween with a lot of speed, having to take it as Kappa makes a mistake. But Gwen, 106.58. Insane time to start us off here. Tween right there to 106.65, but just shy of Gwen's pace, and it's a win in the first round for G1. Something absolutely ridiculous here is that though Binks crashed that round, his median pace, so that means half his times are faster than this and half are slower, his median pace is 106.70. That's like average for him. How crazy is that? That's like half the league's personal best is a 0.7. It's this average. Just ridiculous. Between as well, one of the strongest players on this map. 106.54 best time. 107 flat, the median pace. To round 2. Sinners are again keeping up very strong here. Binks did not have the greatest start, but Gwen is on lightning pace. Into the grass downhill. Good speed for Kappa, good speed for Tween as well. Let's see how the beams go. Binks has clipped a little bit, might put him off his course. Gonna be able to land it though, gonna be able to pass both Sinners, and that is an ace being cooked up, and almost a world record from Gwen. 106.441. Joining the top 3 fastest times on this map, together with his teammate. Crazy stuff once again from G1. 5-1 now on Sinner's second choice. This could be the fastest game we've had in the entire season. They have aced so many times, and not only that, but driven world record pace in the rounds. So I don't know, but this is a speed run, it looks like. Kappa and Tween though, fighting valiantly. They're really not driving slow, and this pace they're driving could beat most teams. But when you're playing against the pace demons from France here, it's hard to get any equity in the rounds at all. Once again, just look at this. Binks a 10th ahead. Big lead for reps, all things considered. And the split, the checkpoint split itself is again world record pace. People spend hours and weeks and months grinding for world records, and they're driving that pace consistently. Together they join as they're trying now to get another ace. Gwen falls off the side, but what's the time from Bale? Oh, he missed. He missed, and it's an ace for Sinners. They got a bit overzealous. Maybe you gotta be a bit careful here. There's an entire Reddit community dedicated to something called the premature celebration. You know, the type of guy to wave to the crowd, celebrate a little early, you know, little BM at the finish line, etc. And then suddenly, you know, shoulda just finished it. Let's see if G1 gonna adapt their pace now. Maybe world records are meant to be driven outside of games. Maybe they have to slow it down a little bit. Binks not going for the outside line here. Missed the approach. That means Kappa's gonna get right back up there. And as the positions stand now, this is a round that Sinners could win to tie the scoreline. Tween with great splits. Into the downhill. He matches Binks' pace from the previous round. Really strong here for Tween, and I think they're feeling it right now, Kappa and Tween. That one ace was all they needed to get back into it. Can they hold it on the beams though? Tween, really strong, just needs to stay in first, but Gwen coming through! And he robs it away. Says, I'll be taking that, and the 2 points for my team. Beautiful identity from Gwen. 7-5. Trying to shut down any semblance of momentum Sinners thought they had. Now they are on match point. One more ace would do it for them. Gotten many already in this game. Just need one more to close it out. They're gonna have to get past Tween, who's had amazing pace on this map. And once again, he is there in first. Outside dirt line. Also keeps the gear here in the slide, but just keeping exactly tied with Gwen. Binks with a mistake. Best G1 can hope for is a draw. Gwen remains in first, and my god, the pace is just getting faster. Alright, peel your eyes at this. Whoever survives this ending cleanest might just get the record. See what they get on the beams. Gwen, clean line onto the first jump. Second one as well. Is it gonna be Gwen to topple the record from Mutta from weeks ago? Oh, 46. It's a 106.46. Almost there, but not quite. And with Tween making a mistake, that's G1 taking the round 9-6. So far, Gwen has a 43, a 46. He drove a 60. I think he had a 58 in one. Like, Gwen on this is just absurd. So far, it has been absolutely absurd, and now they only need one more point. Sinners need a miracle round to get an ace here. We have not seen many mistakes at all from Binks and Gwen, and they need both, basically, to slip up somewhere. We're not going to let them have any chances in the start. 10th ahead of everyone else. We'll see in the middle. Very uncommon. We see any mistakes here. The split, once again, just absurdly fast for Gwen. As he's looking for it. Oh no, Gwen, what are these checkpoint times? I am scared to know the pace here, but all I know is the others are not going to be able to keep up with this. Look at the man in front. What's the time going to be? If he finishes first, he will win the match for his team, but is it going to be world record? He gets past. He misses the last slide. And Bing still drives a 46. Incredible. Gwen was on like a 0.2. G1, the pace kings of the league. I think they have the most world records and the highest pace average. They're going to keep doing that until someone is able to stop them. But Sinners was not. 4-0 in game 2 of the day. Just incredible. The fastest round he drove was this one, where he was about 3 thousandths behind the world record. But still, he had such faster rounds. He had a 1200th faster split on the last checkpoint. In the one round he crashed. And then, the one round that almost shifted things in Sinner's favor, Gwen on